Okay, hello everybody. Um, you're gonna have to excuse any noise you might hear in the background because, as some of you may know, my daughter isn't at nursery. They've closed the nurseries, so yes, it's busy times, but all good. This is the first live Q&A session that I have done. I am planning on doing them monthly. So any questions that you have over time, just drop them in. But I'll keep putting reminders up and then people can check in and ask any burning questions that they might have. And I will do my very, very best to answer those. I don't know all the answers. I might just be able to help or point you in the right direction with a couple of things. The questions that I have got are probably quite generic in terms of or common. There are a lot of common questions that I get asked quite a lot. So I'm hoping that by addressing the questions that I have got, it helps quite a lot of you. And then obviously if you want me to expand on any of those, just let me know in the comments. So I'm going to start with the first one, and it's kind of at the very beginning of the journey as well, and that is, when can you start exercising post-pregnancy? I always err on the side of caution with this one, and I always say to people, make sure that you've had your checkup, whether that's 6 weeks or 8 weeks. Mine was at 8 weeks, and that you feel okay in your own body to exercise. I'm a big believer that you know your own body, listen to your own body and follow its guide there. I did start exercising, and I say exercising, it was tiny little 5 to 10 minute walks because that's all I could manage after a C-section, roughly around 3 weeks. No, maybe 2 weeks, about 2 to 3 weeks, very short walks. I was still a little bit hunched over as well at that point, horrific. And I did some very basic pelvic floor and core exercises, just the breathing, which I'll come on to in a second. And that was literally around 2 to 3 weeks, and that was it. And I continued to do that until I had my 8 week checkup, and I knew then, I think I just needed that reassurance that everything's healing, everything's okay. And I did listen to my body. I would have times that if I was going out for a walk and I might have walked a little bit further, I had a little sign, I would bleed a little bit and think, okay, I've pushed it, and then I would stop and I wouldn't do anything the next day. So I really advise you to listen to your body and wait for your checkup. And you can start with those small walks and some very basic rehab, pelvic floor and core breathing when you feel ready to do so. Okay, so I hope that helps. So carrying on from that, the next question was walking and when. So again, you know your own body. It's very different from the C-section to a vaginal delivery. With the C-section, everybody's different. And like I've said, between 2 and 3 weeks when I did start walking, they were very short walks, and I was still a little bit hunched over, my back would ache, so I really didn't push it. But some women might find that at 2 and 3 weeks they're walking around the block and there's no major issues. So it is case by case, but you can do some small steady walks if you feel able to do so. It's different. I've not had a vaginal delivery. I've only had a C-section, but I know clients that have, and they are walking at 2 weeks and they feel much stronger because you don't have that lower ab pain, and the healing from surgery, which we have to remember, it is major surgery. It's no easy feat by any means. Okay, so moving on from there, still staying on the exercise topic, good and bad examples of exercising in terms of weight loss. So, as you know, my first port of call, and it should be everyone's first port of call, but we're not told this unfortunately, is rehab. Okay, so the more you can kind of focus on the rehab in the initial stages, it saves you having to do it a year, 2 years, or 3 years down the line. So when it comes to, and I was exactly the same, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, how am I going to lose this 20 odd K that I am still carrying around? And my first instinct was, I just want to be able to go for a run. I just want to do a weight session. But I already knew that I couldn't do that and I had to rehab. Your body's gone through a lot. So I'm afraid, ladies, it's a slow and steady start. If you do it properly in the beginning, you can soon increase the intensity and get back to where you were, or work a little bit harder if that's your intention. And running alongside that, you've also got the nutrition, which is a big, big factor, and that's something that you can take control of as well, which I know for me made me feel better, because my exercise was walking around the garden, literally walking around the garden, with some core rehab. And then when I went back into the house, my focus was food and nutrition to help hormones, which I'll come on to in a second. So your first port of call is slow and steady walking, listen to your body, start completing the 360 breathing that I'm always banging on about and I've put into the group as well, and some very small pelvic floor exercises. You can gradually build on that with some stretching, really, really good for mobilising the body, getting the blood circulating, really helping with posture. And if you have had a C-section, it just keeps the scar a little bit mobilised as well. And then from there, you can start introducing some body weight exercises and building on top of that. So it's a solid foundation, and then moving on to nutrition. I do not recommend returning to, so you get the 6 week or the 8 week all clear and then you think, oh, I feel really good, I'm going to go back to the gym. I do not recommend going straight back into your pre-pregnancy training regime because you've had the all clear and you feel okay. Why? Because if you think about what your body's been through, so you've carried a baby for 9 months, your core unit, which consists of lots of different organs, has been moved out of place. It's not as in sync as it was pre-pregnancy, and the pelvic floor also took a lot of trauma throughout that pregnancy. If you've had a C-section on top of that, we've then got the lower abs to be dealing with and healing from the operation also. So the core rehab is a chance to get everything back into sync, and heals everything from the inside. So the inner core has been expanded and weakened, and the outer core has also been expanded and weakened, but we feel okay. So we start jumping around, and then a year down the line, you're going and doing your star jumps and noticing a little bit of incontinence. And I have worked with so many women years post pregnancy, and they've said, oh, Gemma, I can't do star jumps because I have a little bit of incontinence. And when I say, what did you do, kind of after pregnancy, it was, oh, well, I felt okay, I got my all clear and I went back to the gym. It's like, no. Okay, so, but that's okay, we can deal with that years down the line, but I'd rather catch women sooner and start nice and steady. Moving on to nutrition. So I've had somebody ask about good and bad examples of nutrition. So same scenario, post-pregnancy, as you know, hormones were all over the place. Some ladies are breastfeeding, some aren't. So you've got to take that into consideration. If you're breastfeeding, you still need to be making sure that you're drinking lots and lots of water and still eating a couple of 100 calories extra per day to keep the energy and keep the milk flowing. I do not recommend major calorie restricted diets. I don't recommend any kind of supplement that encourages fat burning supplements, weight loss pills, a meal in a shake. I'm actually quite against any of those. So I'm sorry if I do offend anyone when I say that, but I am all for eating a balanced diet. It can get very technical, but post-pregnancy, all you need to think about is good fats. So good fats are really, really good for hormones. So avocados, olive oil, nuts, they are really good for hormones. Bone broth, I've not brought my, I was going to bring my little bone broth in with me. I drink it every day, and I've put loads of posts out there, so I'm not going to bore you about bone broth again. But it's full of collagen for healing. It's full of antioxidants. It's really good for the gut. It's full of good fat, so it actually balances out hormones. And if we can get the gut balanced and full of good bacteria, that's really good for helping hormones. So if you combine that with drinking your 2 to 3 litres of water each day, still getting carbs in, so sweet potatoes, normal potatoes, rice, don't cut anything out, don't. And I had to go through this mental thing as well. I would look at myself in the mirror and I was like, right, that is it, I'm not eating, I am not eating it. It's, and I know that that doesn't work, but the reason that I am homing in on postnatal is because even me with the background of training and all the rest of it, still looked at myself in the mirror and thought, wow, okay, I'm not eating and I want to exercise. So I really, really empathise with any ladies that feel like that, but please do not restrict yourself from food. So eat a balanced diet and try and be as prepared as you can. I was boiling eggs, so I had eggs ready for breakfast. I would do overnight oats, so just whack oats and some yogurt, stick them in the fridge, put a bit of fruit in there, had that ready for breakfast. And someone's actually said quick ideas for breakfast was one of the other questions. And I know it's difficult when you've got a newborn, but if you make it a priority and you really, really want to do this, then you will find a way. So yeah, try and think the night before, prep a smoothie, boil some eggs, soak some oats overnight, or even you can do that really quickly in the morning. Smoothies are a great way to get in things like avocado, flax seeds, again, really good fat. A little bit of fruit, a little bit of veg, so you can get some of the good things in a nice quick shake in the morning. Add some oats in, and you've kind of got a full meal there. And then try and have healthy snacks around the house. So don't go hours in between eating your meals. Sometimes we cannot eat enough, and this is something that I've actually had to focus on myself. Life gets so busy. And before I had Pearl, I was got my meals prepped, take my little packed lunch everywhere, had all my snacks, have Pearl, and now I'm like, oh, I've not ate for 2 hours. So I'm also focusing on tracking calories and just making sure I am eating enough. So I have things around the house. I have a really good yogurt protein drink. I have boerewors, so just meat snacks, boiled eggs. I have some gluten-free little, they're not really anything but like a biscuit, just things that I'm getting in between meals, so I'm keeping the calories up. Sometimes we might not be eating enough, and that doesn't help with weight loss either. And the thing with weight loss is you do need to be in a calorie deficit, but you need to know how many calories you need in a day before you know what that deficit is. And you don't want the deficit to be too much because you won't lose weight then either. So it is a little bit technical, and I do work with ladies on that as well. But the main message here is don't go on some crazy diet. There's no quick fix. There is no quick fix. This is a slow and steady race, and you set yourself small goals each day. And that might be, today I'm going to make sure I drink 2 litres of water, and I'm going to go for a 20-minute walk. The next day it might be I'm going to drink my 2 litres of water, go for a 20-minute walk, and do 2 minutes of my 360 breathing. So every single day you are making progress towards your goal. And I have so many women that say, but I haven't got time. You have. You really, really have. Do you want to do this? That's my question. And I had days where Pearl would be in a bouncer. I was always in my sports clothes. I was ready to go. And she'd be in a bouncer and I would be doing a little bit of rehab next to her. Or she's in the pram and I'm walking her round and round the garden. So there really is no excuse if you really do want to do it, just 20 minutes a day. I have battled with mum guilt also in the very beginning. Didn't even know what it was till I had Pearl, and then I was like, oh, I feel really bad. And then, no, have a word with yourself, Gemma. I'm doing this because I want to set an example to Pearl. I want to be fit and healthy for Pearl. And I also need to chase her around. She's now walking, so I've got to be fit and active. Okay, moving on, I'm waffling. So supplements, I've been asked about supplements. I do recommend certain supplements. They're all healthy and I have lots of natural ones. Again, none of them are quick fixes. I definitely do not recommend any take this pill and you'll lose a stone. It is simple things such as a fish oil. So again, another good fat. But they're really good. Cod liver oil, really good again for linking with hormones. I take a probiotic and I bang on a lot about probiotics. I'm really, really big about the gut and gut health. If you can get your gut balanced, then sorry, I was just noticing the comments there, easily distracted. If you can get your gut bacteria balanced, this is the starting point for your immune system, your hormone balance, metabolism. So I do recommend taking a probiotic. I take Proflora. It's quite a good one, and it has a billion bacteria, and it's got certain ones in there that are kind of for everyday use, and I find that suits me. It's finding one that's good for you, but that's the one I choose to use. I also recommend a bone broth, there it is again, and collagen powder. I do use a company, it's called Clean Living, and I do have a promotion code that I can help if people do want any kind of discount with that. But I started that straight away. I've always drank bone broth, and then I brought in the collagen powder. I didn't take it through pregnancy, and I brought that in after pregnancy, just to make sure I was getting in a little bit more protein, but also for the healing. So collagen is really good for healing tissues, and especially after a C-section. So I found that good with the bone broth and the other supplements. I do say a multivitamin. I don't take a multivitamin. I take separate combined B vitamins, and I take a vitamin C, and I was taking a vitamin D, but I'm not now. I'm just getting out in the sun a little bit more. But you can just take a really good multivitamin. It just makes sure that you're getting everything in, and those antioxidants. But you can never replace fruits, veggies, whole foods, and a balanced diet. So supplements will help add to a good balanced diet, but obviously they can't out train a bad diet, as they say. Okay. What else have we got? Pooch. Okay, so a quick one about the C-section pooch or pouch. So the C-section pouch is a combination of a buildup of scar tissue, kind of excess fluid, fat that can store there and sometimes hide behind the scar tissue, and the lower abs obviously being kind of due to trauma from the surgery. So ways that you can reduce this or eliminate this is your balanced diet, lots of water. Again, I cannot rate water enough. If you don't really like water, add mint to it, cucumber, lemon, whatever helps you drink it, but get those 2 to 3 litres in a day. It helps flush out antioxidants, fats. I had cellulite everywhere after my C-section. I was, well, after pregnancy, just fat and cellulite. And drinking lots and lots of water really does help flush through the body. Scar massage is another one that I also tell lots of clients to do when it is safe to do so. I do have a sorry, I'll answer those in a second. I do have a PDF in the group that you can have a little look through that's just about scar massage. I started it just gently kind of around the stomach, so just circles around the stomach, which helps for fluid build-up as well as tissue breakdown. It also promotes blood flow to the area, which helps healing, and it helps nerve regeneration as well. So when you hear a lot of ladies say that they're numb in that area, it can sometimes be because they didn't do scar massage, but it can also just be everyone is individual and people are affected differently. There's no right or wrong and there's no answer. So scar tissue, lots of water, good food, and lots of specific lower ab exercises. So again, when you are safe to exercise and you've had the all clear, on top of the 360 breathing, which really helps strengthen and the inner core and pull the abs back together, you can add specific core exercises on top of that. And I found that my lower abs just wouldn't engage. I had to do a lot of work to get the lower abs activating again, and they really help lift the stomach up. So I have worked with a lady and she'd had 4 C-sections, hadn't done any core rehab until after the 4th one. And we did a lot of core work and a lot of lower ab work, and we did notice a little bit of a lift with the lower belly as well, so that really contributes to that pouch. But it is a case of, again, it takes time, ladies. I know it's really difficult, and I am one of the most impatient people that you can meet, but I do recommend taking progress photos. So you might not notice it through measurements or weight. Try not to focus too much on weight. But if you take photos of your progress, you will see a difference if you're doing something each day that we've just talked about. Okay, so just to summarise, small goals each day. You can start your 6-8 weeks as long as you're happy to do so. You can start sooner as long as you're happy to do so and you're listening to your body. Some of you might be months or years postpartum. It is never too late. Once you're postpartum, you're always postpartum. So I have worked with ladies years down the line that have still got ab separation, and we've done lots of work there as well. So small goals each day. Drink the 2 to 3 litres of water. Start with the 360 breathing. Make sure you're trying to plan ahead with nutrition, even if it is, okay, I've got breakfast planned for tomorrow, I've got my boiled eggs ready, I've got my overnight oats in the fridge ready to quickly grab in the morning. Whatever it might be, start the day off on that positive and you're more likely to continue. Get your healthy snacks handy, so that you can just kind of pick on them throughout the day. Try not to go hours without eating. Make sure you are eating enough. Try to get your scar massage in if you're a C-section mum, and think about if you want to add in any of those supplements as well. So the probiotic, a multivitamin, a cod liver oil, and then definitely have a look into bone broth and collagen powder. If you do want me to send you more info on them, then just drop me a message or a comment and I'll ping over the details. But the bone broth is full of antioxidants, and it's just a really good add-on to a meal or a drink. You can just put that in each day. And then with the exercise, just gradually build on top of it. So if you are a mum that's already done core rehab and you're kind of saying, but I'm not losing any weight, first of all, I'd need to look into your food. So unfortunately, most of my clients are on MyFitnessPal and I'm logged into their MyFitnessPal. Just so that I can see, are they eating enough, more than anything else. So definitely make sure you're eating enough, but also, are you changing your exercise routine? So the body is really savvy and it gets bored really quickly. So if you're doing the same exercise, so I run 3 times a week and I'm not losing any weight, you won't. The body needs a challenge. It's got used to running now. It needs something else. I do eventually get most of my clients into weight training combined with functional cardio, because that is a game changer in terms of increasing metabolism, building muscle, building bone density, changing the physique. And that combined with the good nutrition further down the line is where you then start to see the results. At the very, very beginning, it's about rehab, it's about taking your progress photos, it's about getting your hormones balanced through nutrition and exercise and lots of water. Okay, if you're in my stronger mums group, then I do try and just put in little checklists, so daily checklists. There's a couple of little free handouts on nutrition, a quick mum workout in there as well, and I'm constantly banging on about different things in there. But I'm not going to waffle on any longer. I think I have answered all of the questions. Yeah, no meal replacements. I'm old school. It's a balanced diet. As long as you're getting your fruits, your veggies, good carbs, lots of protein. Focus on the protein, ladies. Focus on the protein. And then just checking that you are eating enough as well. But I'm more than happy to expand on any of those points or answer any other questions if I can help. I really hope that what I've said is useful a little bit and I'm not just waffling on. I'm just going to have a quick look. Catherine, hello. Overnight oats, random boiled eggs. Oh, wicked, great minds. I don't think I've got a marriage proposal in there as well. Lovely. Hi Samar, hope I've said that right. Still a little bit of numbness after 2 years. Yeah, so you can still start scar massage. Ideally you want to start it before 2 years, but you can definitely start now. It's never too late. You might see a slight improvement. So I do it myself, but I also have had someone more qualified in that area. I'm not a masseuse or qualified in that massage or scar massage, and he would do, because I was, I suppose, doing it too. I don't think you can work as hard on your own scar tissue as somebody else can. So he helped me, and I also had an issue with my rib, so quite a bit of pain underneath, and he just worked through that as well. So it might be worth having a look to see if you can start it and then seeing if there's anyone in your area that might be able to help with that. I'm yet to do some acupuncture. I want to do some acupuncture because I know that this is good for scar tissue also, and I did a lot of acupuncture before I had Pearl. Sorry, I'm talking too fast, Samar, sorry, I know. It's probably my northern accent doesn't help either. Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for your comments, guys. That's really, really nice. I'm going to leave it there then. So, Samar, I'll drop you a message and just see if there's anything else that I can answer there if I've spoke too fast. And if anyone else has got any other questions, then please let me know. But thank you so much. Hopefully I can get to do these once a month, so drop in any other messages and I'll see if I can help next month. Thank you everyone. Enjoy the rest of the day wherever you are. Bye bye.